Good afternoon, Jerusalem Jane coming to you with some breaking news out of Israel. I'm just going to share with you what we know as of now. About 30 minutes ago, a 39-year-old Jewish man was stabbed to death in the city of Petah Tikva, which is in the center of Israel. An Arab Palestinian man aged 46 has been arrested. Witnesses who came by said that they saw this terrorist stabbing this Jewish man 4, 5, 6 times with this big knife, and he dropped to the ground, and then the terrorist ran off, being chased by some civilians. The police was called in and they arrived pretty quickly, and they apprehended this terrorist. The victim was evacuated to the hospital, but unfortunately he has succumbed to his wounds. This terrorist was living close to the Arab city of Nablus, and the police are now looking into how he made his way to Petah Tikva. So there are still many things that is right now being investigated by the Israeli intelligence agency. This terrorist, of course, is being interrogated why he was in that area. So again, Israel is shook to the core of a heinous terrorist attack. This Jewish man, 39, is probably a father, a husband, and another Jewish family is now grieving from the death of a loved one. So I just wanted to give you, these are the facts that we know right now. Later, the identity of this victim will of course be released, and I will share more of you later. But we see this over and over again, that a Jewish person can't walk on the street, wait for the bus, being in a supermarket without being stabbed to death, run over. Israel is also every day being hit by these explosive devices who's coming in from the Gaza Strip, setting many acres of land in Israel on fire. And then of course we have the rockets on and off, and now another Jewish family has to bury a loved one today, killed for no other reason than just being Jewish. So please keep this family in your heart and prayers. I also want to tell you about something that happened, and I'm just using my phone here. Yesterday we had a security incident on the border, on the northern border going into Lebanon. Around just before 11 p.m. shots were fired from the terrorist Hezbollah inside Lebanon. They were shooting at Israeli forces who was patrolling in the streets. So these forces responded by dozens of flash bombs and smoke shells. And then later in the day, Israeli helicopters and aircrafts attacked Hezbollah forces. So this is actually the first time in more than 10 years that Israel has retaliated into Lebanon. Israel is a sovereign nation. Every time Israel is being attacked, whether it's Hezbollah firing in from Lebanon, whether it's Hamas terrorists who is sending rocket into Israel, or it's these arson balloons that is coming from the Gaza Strip, these are attacks on a sovereign nation here in Israel, and it happens all the time. So thank you to all of you wonderful people around the world. Share this video out so people know that this is what we are facing here. Please keep this Jewish family in your heart who now have to bury a loved one. Why? Because yet another Palestinian terrorist go out on a senseless killing spree and killing a Jewish husband. And now he's going to go to court, and he's going to be rewarded millions and millions of dollars from the Palestinian Authority, because they are going to salute him as a hero. It is absolutely reprehensible. Please pray for the family of these terror victims, and I will keep you updated as more news are coming in. Thank you all for standing in the gap for Israel for such a time as this. We truly love you, and we value all the friends that Israel has around the world. Bye.